Good morning, everyone. Welcome to North Star Knife Reviews. Today, we are going to take a look at this little knife. Well, maybe not quite so little. This is a 1980s Seki, Japan, Parker Wostenholm IXL. Now, let's talk a little bit about the history of the Wostenholm company, and then we will get into this knife in particular. The Wostenholm family, and they spelled their name differently at the beginning, started making knives in the mid-1700s, and they were in a little village called Stannington in England. Supposedly, Stannington is where the Barlow knife originated, very near Sheffield, and in 1810, they built their factory in Sheffield, moved there, and began producing knives out of Sheffield. In 1831, they bought the IXL trademark, which had been used since 1787 by a man named W.A. Smith. He sold it to them in 1831, and they used it, from that point on until the 1960s, when they went out of business and sold the brand. And by the time they got this IXL trademark in 1831, they were already a huge brand, selling a lot of knives in America. Opened an office in New York and one in San Francisco to help handle sales, and very well-known brand, very popular. And you may, had you lived at that time, may have had an IXL Wostenholm knife. As I said, they went out of business and sold the brand. It went through a couple of owners before Jim Parker bought it in the 1980s. And he then had some knives made in Seki, Japan. And this is one of them. And let you take a look. There's the tag stamp, Wostenholm, IXL, and then Japan on the back. And these would all have been made in the 1980s. So I don't know exactly the year, but it would have been sometime in the 80s that this was made. As you can see, this is a trapper. You have the two blades, the spay blade, the clip point blade. I left my tripod at home, so I'm doing this one-handed, so bear with me. I really like these wood handles. I think they look very pretty. I got this a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago, on eBay, and it doesn't look like it was ever carried or used, really, and very nice. I think the steel on this is 440C, at least as far as I've been able to determine online. You can see we have the nickel silver bolsters. You can see the pin in there. The wooden handles are held on by 3 brass pins. Pretty flush, maybe just slightly proud. Take a look again at the clip point blade. A really nice, good sized clip point. You can see it fills the hand pretty well. And here, nice click on there. Good walk and talk on this knife. The fit and finish is quite good. Maybe just a tiny little bit of gapping right here, but nothing bad at all. And let's see, centering is a little off, but they are not rubbing. Looks pretty close, but they aren't. So, I don't have a real problem with that, especially, for a knife made in the 80s, which, wow, was, 40 years ago, if it was 83, let's say. So, as somebody who grew up in the 80s, that certainly doesn't seem that long ago. But anyway, I just thought I'd show you this knife real quickly today. I'd never taken a look at it before, reviewed it. So thought maybe you guys would be interested. I know that Parker and to a greater extent Jim Frost, sometimes don't have the best reputation as far as knives, but some of these early Seki Japan knives I think are pretty nice and pretty good quality. So there you go. I like the knife. Glad to have it in my collection. Hope you like taking a little look at it. You guys have a good day. Stay sharp. I'll catch you next time.